Education, Laurie Kilmartin.
You want to do this, Laurie? You ready to?
Yeah, well, a lot of pre-show gossip about our personal lives that can't make the pod. Sorry, guys.
Right. Some things can't make the pod. But they're not about stand. I went to Florida for a hot minute and then I came back.
Tell me about this crazy gig.
Well, this crazy gig, and it was so funny because Brian was like, I know this isn't a normal gig. I know that. I thank you so much. Regan. So yeah. So no, I didn't say. So I get that. But here's okay. So my favorite thing, of course, and I tweeted about it, you probably saw, was the elevator thing where we were all wearing, I was going up to the Sky Club at LAX. At Terminal 2, and the elevator's tiny. It's tiny. It's the size of this Zoom call. And so there's 4 of us. There's 3 ladies, middle-aged ladies, demographic, me, either white or possibly a Hispanic lady, and then an Asian lady. We're all middle-aged. And then there was a dude who looked either Armenian or full-on more Middle Eastern, whatever. We're all wearing masks. We're packed into this thing, tiny elevator. And I do my joke, which I do in public. In an elevator laugh is a real laugh. I would posit that an elevator laugh in public in these troubled times is a gift to humanity. So this joke is dumb. I go into the elevator, we're all packed in, and I say, it's like 2019 in here. That's the joke. That's the whole joke. It's an okay joke. I get a laugh. Yeah. I get a laugh from the 2 women. The guy says, all of this is ridiculous. This is just, I forget exactly how he put it, but he was just like, this is a plot. We're being used. And so there's this silence that just, and I'm like, wow. This, when you're on stage and you've said something, well, you are the one who said, I'm the one that said it. So now I got to get us out of this thing.
Right. So, you started it.
I started it. So I said, so you don't like staying alive? And I get a choked laugh from the middle-aged Asian woman, and the door's open, and we all walk out. And then the dude says to me, I get to say what I want. This is a freedom of speech. I get to say what I want. And I said, yeah, me too. Look what just happened. We both did it.
Yeah.
And then I spent the next half hour
retorted,
praying.
He thought you were taking away his constitutional right to freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Fucking people.
Right. And then he didn't, I don't think he went into my Sky Club. I think he went into he's probably fucking flying American or some bullshit.
Well, I mean, for you to tell a story about your noble ethics about mask wearing while you slip in that you're at the Sky Club, you snob.
Oh, I love a Sky Club. I deserve it. I don't know that I'll make Diamond this year, even though they gave me a bunch of credit for flying it all. And I'm booked up solid. I just emailed my agent and said, I'm not working in July. And I almost wrote, unless it's amazing. But I did not write it.
Wait, you're all through the spring? You've got stuff too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm booked through May. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well,
how many weeks a month?
How many weeks am I going to take off?
No, how many weeks a month? Every single week you're out of town, or what?
At least 2, and 2 months 4.
Oh my God.
So I don't want to. Hi.
Right.
I would like to lie down. So,
right.
And then, so anyway, so I fly to Atlanta, and then Atlanta, I get on the plane to fly to Fort Lauderdale, and they take us off the plane because the window in the cockpit is broken. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make it, but it's day before, right? So the show is Thursday. I'm flying on.
Of all the windows you need, it's the cockpit window, right?
Yeah, you're going to need that window. It's
For sure.
Right. No, it's Tuesday. So it's Tuesday. It doesn't matter what time I get there, but they put us on a new plane. I get there a little bit later. One of my last friends that I've kept in touch with on the regular from high school lives in Fort Lauderdale, and he picks me up at the airport and takes me for a weird sandwich. There's not a mask to be seen out of the airport.
Wait, after a cross-country flight, you met up with someone you haven't seen since high school?
Yeah. Well,
that's horrible. What are you thinking?
Well, because he was going to give me a free ride.
Oh, got it.
And I like him. And so he's a really nice guy. And so anyway, it was in the Hard Rock Cafe Hollywood, Florida, Seminole casino, the Indian casino, and it sticks out of the swamp. It's shaped like a guitar, and
God.
it's all
Sounds
lit up.
so bad.
It's like the devil's thumb. It just sticks
Right.
out of the Florida swamp.
Right.
And I just can't stop laughing because the whole thing is absurd. So I go into my room, I chill. The next day, here's the thing. It's a benefit for Brian Regan's high school and a local thing called Neighbors for Neighbors, which is just a thing to help other people, right? And so it's a good benefit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know how it is with benefits.
Yeah.
You remember on the thread when somebody said that they were doing a benefit for a political person, might have been Brandy, but and she was like, what kind of advice? Do you guys have any advice? And I was like, yeah, I got 2 pieces of advice. Find out within an hour of when you are going up.
Right.
And
Great.
where you are parking.
Right. Yes, yes, yes.
And so, and of course, if you're using a podium mic. Anyway, but so this thing is going to be fine, right? This thing is going to be fine. It's just, there's the development people, it's a room that seats 2,500 people.
Oh God.
He's been in Florida in the last 2 years a dozen times.
But
he's
from
been
Florida.
in Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah.
6 times in the last 8 months.
Right.
Or wait, twice in Hollywood, Florida. In this room, he was there like 6 weeks ago. So the room isn't full. The room, it's Christmas. It's lightly attended. The first 3 rows are couches. You know, the whole thing is set up
awful.
It's set up weird. And so there's a band. And there's a band that goes first.
Oh my God.
So it keeps stacking, right? And so I see him and he's
at
like,
that point, you just have to give up and go, oh, this is going to be awful. But
this is going to be what it's going to be, right? Yeah, that's it exactly. And so I was like, it's a good cause. If anybody has a good time, that's on them. I'm gonna try to have a good time. And so the band, so the development people go up, the band goes up, and then essentially my job is to turn this thing into a comedy club. So he's essentially hired me to MC. Okay. So I go up. Esther Koo now lives in Hollywood, Florida. So she knows these people. So she's just doing a guest set.
Oh, why?
Do you know Esther?
I do, but why does she live in Florida now?
I don't know. I'm uncertain. And
well, a lot of people have moved back to their home states in the pandemic. Just
9 years. She's lived there 9 years.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
She must work a lot there.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of work just in Florida, like Vegas, where if you just live there, you can work a ton? Yeah,
she said there's plenty of work, she said. And I believe she's married and has stepkids and all these things, because she did a little bit of material on that. It was funny because she's always been really dirty. Yeah. And Brian Regan is not. And I am a dressy Bessie and can be whatever you want me to be. Yeah. So
a Barbie.
Yeah. And so she's only supposed to do 5, but another comic dropped out and they were like, well, she could do 15 if she wants. And I guess Esther said, no, I cannot.
I only have 5 clean.
I only have 5 clean. You know, so it's going to be fine. She knows
the best
her
comics are the ones that know who they are, right?
That's it. Right. So, the tour manager is like, so ideally you would go up and do like 5, bring up Esther, and then do 10, and then bring up Brian, because he's got to do 45 to an hour. Okay. And I was like, okay. And then Brian comes up and he was like, how long are you doing? And I said, well, I'm supposed to do 5 and then bring Esther up for 5 and then do 10, but I can do less if you want. He said, not less. Mas. And whatever. So I think I did 12. And because we also don't want it to go too long, right? I mean, they had already sat there for a half an hour with a band and some lecture stuff. And they were giving away free swag. They were giving away Ford sippy cups, coffee Ford for the car that said Ford on them. I was like, all right. And anyway, so we all do that, and then there's some sort of like a small, like a little gathering by the benefit, his high school. Bunch of people from his high school came, and there was just essentially some booze and like one platter of cheese. And then but then Avi Lieberman was there,
Oh,
just out of the blue.
doesn't he book Israel?
He does book Israel, as I said to him. As we ended up, he was like, "I've been trying to get you to come for 20 years," and I'm like, and I was like,
Has
"Yeah,
he?
just off and on." And but the hilarious thing about Avi Lieberman, first of all, he said, "I can't find women who can do 20 clean minutes," and I said, "You're not looking, Avi."
Oh my God. What? I don't have words. The only words I have are actually dirty, filthy. You might be right.
Right. And the only other thing about Avi that makes me laugh so hard is that he loves a joke of mine.
Yeah.
From 1997. And
I
so
think it might be living there in 1997.
he brings it up
No comics.
every time.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, he's like, "You do that joke, that great joke about the Final Fantasy legend and the mutants." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a joke."
Well, how did the rest of the show go? Did
That's
Avi
fine. No. The show went fine. It's so funny, but Brian was like, we'll work together again. It'll be a regular set." And I was like, "Brian, I didn't come to do or not do stand-up comedy. I came to watch you do an hour." And he was like, "Well, that's very flattering." And I was like, "Yeah, and you pay well for me to come and watch you do it an hour." So it was silly. So yeah. And then I got bumped up on the way home to first class. And get this. I know. Direct Fort Lauderdale to LAX, first class.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they served overnight oats. Anyway, but get this, the guy sitting next to me, I was wearing the Dork Forest. I've advertised for this company. It's called Raycon Global. Right. And they gave me free earbuds. And I believe if you use like the code DORK or whatever, you still get a deal over at Raycon Global, you guys. But I'm sitting next to him, and I'm with headphones, and I'm reading my book, and I'm and the TV's going, and I have all of the things are going that say "Don't talk to me."
Yeah.
And the guy next to me touches my arm, and I was like, and I just look at him. He goes, "You're wearing Raycon earbuds," and I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's my company. I own a Raycon." And I was like, "What?" He gave me a free set of gaming earbuds out of his backpack. He was like, "These are brand new. Do you want these?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And and then I said, the only swag I have, this is not going to be an even exchange, is my new album. So I was like, "Here, have a coaster." And so
that's amazing.
Because I got the Staycation CDs delivered, but I don't have the DVDs yet. So
gotcha. Well, that
is all of my news from Florida.
I have lots of things to talk about. I had two of the worst flying days. Unbelievable. So last Sunday, I forgot we haven't talked since then, right? I was in Fort Collins last Sunday. Okay, or last weekend. Right. So Sunday, I have a noon direct flight to Burbank, and it gets canceled. And several hours later, I'm put on a flight that goes from Denver to Sacramento, to Palm Springs, to Sacramento, to Burbank. So I got home like 10 and a half hours late. It was unbelievable. I was like, if I have to hear this fucking safety song one more time, I'm going to flight attendants, right?
Was it Southwest?
Yeah, of course it's Southwest.
It's the Greyhound of the sky. Yes,
it is. So that was just a long, awful day, right?
Right.
But I did get home eventually. My luggage wasn't lost. So, okay, good things happened, right? But then a couple days later, I decided I flew out a day early for this gig. I'm a huge fan of flying out a day early. I hate flying in and then immediately doing 2 Friday night shows or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. I love having the whole day ahead of me.
It's a privilege that I've only experienced since working for Bamford, because Bamford sort of medically has to get there so that she can chill for the day.
Oh.
And I was like, everyone I know who's our age, like once they became super successful, they were like, day before, get me an extra.
Patton just posted that he flew in the day before to Pittsburgh and got in at night, and the guy drove him around, the Uber driver or whatever. He had a cool video. But it's like, I don't want to rush like that and worry and stuff like that. If I'm going to do the show on time, it does cost an extra night at the hotel, and it costs you a day with your loved ones as well. But
yes,
but
the shows go better. You are well rested.
Yeah,
there's a trade-off for sure.
Yeah.
And sometimes the club will pay for the extra night.
Sometimes they do.
For the security. Yeah.
Lewis didn't. But that's so I got in Tuesday night, and oh good. Okay. And little note. So I fly out on Southwest, right? And I have a layover where everyone leaves the plane but me and this one other guy. So once everyone leaves the plane and you're staying on, you get to change your seat if you want, right?
Right.
So I immediately go to the exit row. Southwest has a regular exit row, and then the row in front of it is just 2 chairs. And the window. Oh my
God, you are going to
feet of legroom. Okay. But here's Jackie. I saw you take the other person's side. No one else on the internet did, by the way, but my podcast partner.
You are wrong. I had some supporters, and this is hilarious.
You had one male supporter. That's what doesn't count. The guy you were in the elevator with on the way to the Sky Club.
Well, because now he's on my side because he's been chastised. Anyway, go.
When I look in front of me, there's a seat. There's the room under the seat for my purse. That's my place. That's no one else's. And there's a tray. That's my tray. Yeah, I have to lean forward a little bit to get my stuff.
A little bit.
Tray.
It's 4 feet.
That is my fucking tray. Excuse me. So the woman sitting in that row next to what would be that seat immediately pops open a tray and starts spreading out, puts her glass there, puts her iPad there, starts putting her garbage there, and I'm like, what is happening? This is insanity. So I tapped her. I go, when we get our drinks, I'll be wanting my tray again. And she goes, that's not your tray.
Oh, I did not know that you had a conversation with this person.
But here's the thing. She said it with such authority that I thought she was a flight attendant who was just
or maybe the president of the United States.
I don't know. But I was like, I don't want to argue. I don't want to get in an argument on a plane. That's the last thing I want to do, because you might never be able to fly again. Mm-hmm. Plus, I was really enjoying tweeting how awful she was. Like, to me, I'm like, this is actually good. So, but here's the thing. Now I know she wasn't a flight attendant, because what I didn't see in the pictures, because the lighting was low, when I was taking the pictures, I was posting pictures on Twitter and stuff, was that she'd taken her shoes off and she crossed her leg and put her foot like right next to my purse in that space. So now I knew she wasn't a flight attendant. She was just a piece of shit.
Yeah. I'm completely on your side now.
Thank you.
That's it. And so let me just, though I do have one question that could just rekindle your rage. Was there a tray in one of your armrests?
Jackie, have you ever driven on a spare tire? Is that considered a tire? This tray, it was bent in the middle. It went right into my boobs. You couldn't put anything on. Okay? No.
So technically, yes, but no.
Technically, no.
I can't.
And I'm gonna ask the flight on Southwest tomorrow when I fly out whose tray that is.
Right.
A definitive answer. Here now, have you ever been in the opposite position? No.
Where you're sitting there? I've sat there where this whole area is empty,
Right.
and I use my space underneath, and I use my tray. I have turned around and asked the person if I could use that tray so that I could spread out.
Incident at all. All I did
Yeah.
was a lot of passive aggressive footwork.
Yeah.
I kicked my legs all the way out. I started like windshield wiping my feet, and like doing bicycle things.
Right. Size 11. Do it.
And-
Bring it.
And they were in Uggs, so they were gigantic. They were like the size of a 13 foot.
Oh
my God, it was crazy.
That's insane.
So that's that. And then this week, okay, so Acme's we had snow yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And,
it looks super pretty. Yeah.
It's beautiful. But so Wednesday
Merry Christmas.
Wednesday was good. Thank you. Thursday, there was also a Vikings game and the local ice hockey, whatever the professional ice hockey team is here.
It's called Hockey Minneapolis. No, I have no idea. Anyway.
So whatever it was, took out a few people. Okay. And then the storm, at first it was like 12 to 14 inches. And then as the day progressed, it got less and less inches, but it still kind of hit it a little bit. The early show, the late show was pretty good. So one show, what was it like? I'm working with Brandy Brown.
Excellent.
And, she's great. And she gets off stage and she goes, there's a Blue Lives Matter shirt up front.
Oh, shit.
There was one, and it was an elderly woman, and I thought, I bet her son is a cop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if they don't give me any pushback, I'm not going to jump in on them, right?
Yeah, right.
As is, and I'm almost opening with my mother COVID stuff just to blow the room open and get it out of the way. Yeah. So if she's not going to storm out during that, then we're fine, right?
Then yeah.
So then last night, so the second show last night, I murdered, right? I was like, so much I was like exhausted from
having like so much fun
in my body, right? I was like, talking to the crowd, all that kind of stuff. So I get off stage and I'm selling books. I got my little lemonade stand, right?
Yeah, you're bringing it. Hey, Charlie Brown, do it.
And this guy comes up to me and he won't stop talking to me. And he's asking me tons of questions. Do you really have a son? Where do you go next? Just like really quick stuff. And I'm like,
hey, you're cock blocking the sale, dude. Get the hell out of the way.
Jack, then he goes, this is my birthday. He goes, I didn't want to watch your stuff because I didn't want to know if you sucked or not. And I was like, wait, you bought tickets? He bought the tickets, according to him, which I don't think is true, without knowing if I was good or not on his birthday. I'm like, that doesn't seem true, And I think he's trying. What I'm thinking is, he is unsettled that I crushed.
Yeah.
He's unsettled that a woman did that. And he's trying to control me again.
Yeah.
Keeps asking questions, yes or no questions. He won't stop. He's like, I didn't, trying to be like, I didn't know if you were good or not. Like, hey, motherfucker, I just murdered. Yeah. So guess what? You can just compliment me. You don't have to try to be funny. And then he's like, oh, Madison. Oh, are you going to do cheese jokes? Are you going to do Rittenhouse jokes? And I'm like, no, probably not. I don't, why would I discuss anything with you, audience member? When you got to do Rittenhouse stuff, you got to do cheese jokes. And I'm like, this is such
Who are you? Yeah.
Who are you? Why
do we know each other?
Did you see what I just did? Okay. Yeah. And you're telling me what to do? You fucking little low flea who can't handle that you aren't the top dog for 45 minutes one night.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Fuck off.
It was a very male thing to do.
Right.
Whatever. And my throat, I was like, my throat hurts. I need to rest. Why is this guy asking me so many fucking questions?
Right. Did you move a bunch of merch?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. I still got some books books.
Books for tonight. Yeah.
Yes. Less audience.
Did you bring any Jackie and Laurie notebooks for Christmas?
No.
For people to buy for Christmas?
I mean, I don't have, it all weighs so much, Jackie.
No, I know. Well, because next week you're doing Madison and I'm doing Milwaukee.
Right. I know. That's so crazy.
Yeah. And you're going to get there. About an hour 15.
Yeah, no, we won't see each other.
I was going to ask you, do you want to come and have lunch at Irv's Mug on Friday day? I could come pick you up. It would be with my family though. So this face tells me probably not. You're not, there's no pressure. My father would be the only one who would want to meet you. Because
Well,
he's still working on all of those seat DVDs.
I would love to meet your father. But listen, here's the thing. What I've noticed is you know, I like to rest. Like I like to do my 2 little activities for the day, whatever they are. Like I swam this morning and podcast, and I'm gonna go have a little meal at the Monte Carlo.
Oh
and
my
then
God, the Monte Carlo.
shows,
Why?
because
Why
I
the
like
Monte-
it.
Okay. All right.
You don't like it?
It's a little overpriced, and it isn't. There's a lot of great restaurants on Washington that aren't the Monte Carlo.
Oh, well, put some in the chat.
All right.
Here's my point, is I can't do a lot, you know, like
No, you got shows.
and I'm like, look, I have 2 shows. I have to put out a massive amount of energy twice tonight. So I don't have, you know, tons of like space for anything else. Like besides that and swimming, then I just have to rest and recollect myself. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't like this, but also when I was featuring or whatever, it was pretty easy, you know.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
25 Yeah, no one cared. You know,
No one cared.
It was all the headliners.
When we do the Bell House, I want you to headline.
Well, really, why?
Because I want to set up the merch. Yeah. So I'm just doing Friday, Saturday. Are you doing Thursday? Are you doing Wednesday and Thursday as well, or just Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I'm flying out Thursday. I have to double check.
Yeah.
But it's only one show, so that's cool.
One show each night?
No, one show on Thursday. I just hate flying across country and then immediately doing 2 headlining shows. It's a lot, you know. I like to pace my room. I put my robe on, even if I've been dressed all day. Like I have little rituals that are time consuming, but you know, nurture me.
Yeah. You have to do. Yeah, there's this. I do the same things when I go into the hotel. I'm like, is there a bathtub? And then I unpack my stuff, even if it's just for 3 days, 2 or 3 days, because I'm like, I don't want to live out of a suitcase. I want to live out of a stack of clothes. I would prefer to live out of a stack of clothes that is out of my suitcase, because then I can throw my laundry in my suitcase and then I won't have to deal.
Right. Yeah, I swam at there's something called the Phillips Aquatic Center here in Minneapolis, and it's you know, it's like you got to lift there and lift back, and by the time you know, it's like it's not a cheap, you know,
right.
swim.
It's not a cheap swim.
It's mentally, it's really important, you know, and so
it keeps you centered and it keeps you ready to.
I don't know. Yeah, just what for me, it's one of those things I need to do. I mean, it's Kathy Madigan brings her golf clubs. That can't be cheap, right?
Right. Talk to me about when you're going on Thursday, because I'm also flying out of Burbank on Thursday.
Oh, do you want me
That's
to look
hilarious.
My flights?
Because I always fly out of Milwaukee. I mean, I always fly out of LAX.
I am.
Are you flying into Milwaukee or are you flying into Madison?
I'm flying into Madison. I'm flying out on American. I never fly American, and but I think it might. Let me just double check. It might be a direct to Madison, or
I'm gonna bet it is not a direct. But the Dane County Airport is very different if there's a direct from Burbank to Madison.
Okay, it probably goes to, I forget. You know what? I can't look it up right now. And then when I was looking on somebody was, hi, I'm a mother and I've had an abortion. I'm like, wait, all right, I just need to. it's campaign season. All right, lady, just calm down.
Yeah. So, well, we fly out at like 1:15 out of Burbank.
I think I have an early flight.
Right, because you have a show. Yeah, and we don't.
But I get in on early. I get in maybe at 2ish, so I have time to just get to the hotel and chill.
Okay, that's awesome. We're not going to get there till like 10 o'clock at night on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
And Andy's going with you?
Yep. And we're gonna stay at a Victorian Christmassy
right.
hotel, and then shows on Friday and Saturday, and then we fly back kind of early on Sunday because the following Thursday we have to go up and grab Andy's mom for Christmas and take her to Christmas Town, San Francisco. And she the weird thing is so we may have to put the dog in a kennel because there's no I can't get anyone to come stay here and take care of the dog.
What's tough is like for Charmy, because she's a pit bull, they have like 10 other things we have, like hoops I have to go through to get the kennel. So yeah,
fair enough.
So far I won't have needed to put her in a kennel at all, but I'm sure that's coming down the pike. I have to establish a relationship with a kennel, I guess.
Yeah. Rebecca Corey might know. She does rescue. She does pit bull rescues. And so there's probably kennels very specific that are super kind, Yeah. Not that Charmy, there's plenty of kindness in Charmy's life. She's doing
she just expresses it with her teeth. That's all.
She just likes to have a thing in her mouth, and it's usually your head. Hey, let's take a break.
Did you watch Abbott Elementary?
No.
Okay.
No.
So it's the pilot, it's Janelle James is in it. Quinta Brunson created it and is in it. And Lisa Ann Walter, do you know her?
No.
Stand up, and then she went into acting. The wise move it would turn out, but it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I just people should watch it, because it would be great if this show took off and had a nice run. Mm-hmm. And what's cool is Janelle James plays a character that usually they only let white men play, which is someone who's bad at their job, is vain, and is exploiting their job for their own personal gain, right? And she's great at it. I mean,
stuck the landing. Yeah,
sparkles. Yes. And so it's fun it's like, wow, this is really cool, And she plays a principal too. So someone like a white male principal, tweeted, I've never seen anything more unprofessional. Like, yeah, it's a comedy. She's like playing a David Brent sort of character, and it's really fun. So
that's awesome.
You can watch it on Hulu, and it's so hard to get a pilot right. There's so many things you got to, the timing and the relationships you have to establish, and they really did a great job. So check it out.
That's awesome. I have just I've been trying to catch up on my Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm like. And so I saw on Delta that they had a Hallmark movie, and they had something I thought was a Hallmark movie, but then I found out it wasn't a Hallmark movie because it was all about some woman wanting to get pregnant. And I was like, I think this is a 700 Club movie, and I don't want any part of it. So, and I have this thing on planes where I only want to watch the things that are captioned,
right,
so that I can listen to music and read a book and play Marvel Puzzle Quest all at the same time.
You're so distracted. It's unbelievable.
I'm in the sky. Leave me alone. And weirdly enough, Miracle on 34th Street is not colorized on Delta right now, but no captions. But I've seen it enough that I was willing to watch it on mute. And then It's a Wonderful Life is colorized with captions. And I was like, ugh.
Since I've been doing a Southwest run, like I started watching this show called Land.
Yeah.
The movie with Robin Wright.
Oh, really?
Robin Wright, there's always a death. She's always grieving. Like that's except for Wonder Woman. That lady is fucking there. It's dead husbands, dead children, death, which I'm all in. As soon as I see Robin Wright in a movie, I'm like, I'm gonna cry, and here we go. I'm ready. And so I watched like the first half of it on an outbound, and then I just made a note of when I stopped, and then picked it up.
Nice work.
And then I saw Anthony Bourdain's the documentary called Roadrunner.
Yeah.
It's really good. I mean, there's a bit in common with comedians in that constant, I mean, obviously he's on the road a lot, but also like, and maybe you can know people like this where they're addicted to something. He's a heroin addict and he stopped hardcore, right? Cold turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And his friends later said the addiction jumped, and what it jumped to is, like the travel and his career and all that kind of stuff. But he never actually did all the 12-step work, and that might, that caught up with him, perhaps.
Perhaps.
I mean,
yeah, you can't guess, but
it was
we can, because we're a podcast. We can totally guess.
Yes, but we don't even feel like a lot of comedians that are like, they just flipped. They maybe stopped this thing, but they took that intensity and they were able to, through will, put it into something else, but they're still probably not the healthiest people.
Yeah. That's what you tend to do if it's with the emotional addiction. It feels like that's what it is. And
Kyle's thrown in 6 paragraphs of names. Somehow.
I know a lot of them. And they're all very successful, and it has worked incredibly well. And I wish I were addicted to drugs.
Right, because then if you got away from drugs, you would just be addicted to work.
Exactly.
And then,
it's
right,
a process.
Right. It could be something. Could be something in that. But yeah, he kind of. I know, the thing is whenever I watch an Anthony Bourdain thing, I'm just like, I'm both drawn and repelled by him because he seems like 1,000 comics that I've known over 30 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He kind of reminds me of a Courtney Love in a way, that sort of manic intelligence.
Yeah.
That when it's focused on you, it can be great, or focused on a good thing, it can be great. And then maybe when that person goes away, then that thing they focus it on themselves, and then they kind of collapse under the weight of all that,
Mm-hmm.
That
I met him, and you're describing kind of the perfect energy of it.
Oh, really?
Where it's that focus of just, that's like intoxicating, but you can see how that can go in all sorts of different dimensions. Nice guy.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He's like a very nice guy. I mean, he published Bonnie McFarlane's book, her memoir.
Oh.
He had an imprint at a publishing house, so she knew him pretty well. But it's a really good documentary. If it pops up on one of your flights, it's a good one to watch.
Yeah, he seems like a sane version of Gordon Ramsay until he wasn't.
I don't know, Gordon. It reminded me.
Of his work, or?
Yeah, kind of. But I don't. I just kind of think he's a dick and not like a.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay. I would like this guy. You may not know him, but
nice hotel art, by the way. That is the Acme Comedy Company hotel. I don't know him. I know his name though.
I know that name.
Okay, yeah. So that's a guy that, he's doing okay. He's still alive, and he's still, I don't know. I think he has a place to live and stuff, but it's it's tough. Like some people like that, like Bourdain, just had a massive amount of financial success, which must be just so shocking had that at such a late age.
Right. You're just like, what am I supposed to do with it now?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I have been doing so many podcasts that my voice is scratchy, and I had to turn down 3 sets this weekend because I have 3 to 5 podcasts a day. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So, because today's Saturday, and I turned down the Improv, I turned down Uncab, and I turned down Jetpack.
Oh my God, Jackie!
I know they're all really good sets too, and I was like, I've only been home because I was gone 3 days.
Yeah.
We bought the tree today. I would like to decorate the tree.
Yeah.
We're going away next week Thursday for a couple of days, and we got someone to babysit. We had someone to dog sit and house sit for next weekend for Milwaukee. But I kind of want to sit in my house a little bit and
understand.
Yep.
And not talk.
And not talk. I know it. I have so many. I did Brooks Wheelan's podcast yesterday. I'm doing the Sklar Brothers. I did okay,
Jackie,
so hey, yeah.
We have to do Comic of the Week.
We do have to do Comic of the Week. You worked with her, right?
Yes, I worked with her last weekend at Fort Collins, and her name is Janae Burris. And
Burris, right?
Yes, hilarious. Her Twitter is negative Negro. Is that right?
Is she black? Yeah, she's okay. So Janae, Janae.
Yes.
But I thoroughly enjoy comics who are just like, I'm this and this is my handle and it's awesome. So yeah.
She's a Denver comic, very funny. She is talking about a situation that I'm not sure, because I don't know if it's like if she was dabbling in that material or not, but that's very fun and timely. And if you are anywhere near Denver, you should check out Janae Burris as soon as
you
possible.
told me what it was before the show, and it strikes quite several chords for you, and you're like, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And you loved it dearly. So find Janae Burris.
Yes.
And it's at Negative Negro on Twitter. I found that. And it's great. I'm looking forward to it. Cool.
Kyle, but where are we?
We seems like actually, let's take another break because we just hit 45.
I love it. Let me tell you, I wish I had a list of all of the podcasts I've done.
Oh my God.
But Jess only has the next 6.
Oh God, no.
And I've done so many podcasts. There's literally, genuinely, if you were to find all of this stuff, it would be my memoir, because I've run out of stories. And people are asking me super deep questions.
Oh my God.
And so I am like, well, grief is interesting. And, it's just like, well, if you lose your mother and if you got, obviously siblings and there's racism and there's the Civil War. And I'm like, I don't know how this is going to affect, my marriage. And, you're like, oh my God.
What's happening?
When do you think your dad's gonna die? And I'm like,
oh no,
I have any time now. And then if I have to tell the story one more time of how I started stand-up comedy and heckled Sam Kinison, I'm gonna cut myself. So
I can't do it anymore. I can't. It's not interesting.
I'm gonna literally just find a clip of it and drop it in, because it has been covered. It has so been covered. But so I started the thread on the Dork Forest Ranger page on Facebook with all of the different things, because I did Tom Pappas again, and I did for him and Fortune.
I did that too.
You've done almost all of them. I'm doing Doug Loves Movies again tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
I did Brooks Wheelan's yesterday. I'm doing Adam Ferrara's today, and the Sklar's today. And then the Bechtel cast on Wednesday, where I'm going to watch Peggy Sue Got Married.
Oh, cool.
And then David Holmes. I did the Love It or Leave It last night. I did the live.
Yeah.
And I played Nancy Cuomo, their long lost cousin who writes their Christmas letter. And that was super fun, because they wrote the Christmas letter, and it was actually really, really funny. They did a great job. Yeah. So I love it when they write a good thing.
Yeah.
And the other 2 I did yesterday, I can't remember what they were, but boy hooey, hoo-hoo. It was Pete Dominic.
Oh yeah. Did he tell you he texted me to get the lowdown on you?
Yes. I was like, what is happening? I was like, did she tell you? I'm terrified. What did she say about me? And then I did a podcast called Just Between Us, where there was and I've spaced everybody's names, but it's that one will come out. And then the Judy Gold one came out. That was super fun.
Oh, fun. I did Judy's a while ago. I haven't done it in a long time though.
And the Daily Zeitgeist. Did I tell you about the Daily Zeitgeist?
No.
So the Daily Zeitgeist is, I got 100 pages of links of the things that they might talk about. 100 pages.
Yeah, I know this.
And I didn't notice in like the 3rd or 4th paragraph of the email from them that they were like, don't worry about the 100+ pages. We only do the first 3 to 5. And I was like, I had already read 82 pages. And I was like, because I wanted to be thorough. was dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, I also did Keith and the Girl and Lady to Lady.
Oh, nice. I did Keith and the Girl.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Yeah.
And that was those were both. I mean, they've all been super fun and really. Oh, I did Kelly. Did I do Kelly Carlin's?
Kelly Clarkson.
No, Kelly Carlin. I think I did Kelly Carlin's, but I also did Allison Doors. And I also did a morning radio zoo where I called in, and the guy's name was literally, it was Weasel and the Coach.
Oh my God, Jackie.
It was 1996, and I called into 1996, and I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Did they have a female co-host that didn't?
They
say
did.
much about-
Whose name was like Evelyn. I mean, it's always. I did Matt Bronger's podcast, and
cool.
And that was fun. I did the hype, and here's the biggest problem: I don't have a Dork Forest for Tuesday because I'm exhausted. So I'm thinking of talking to Andy about Sandman LARPs. Those are two words that Laurie Kilmartin is like, what are Sandman
I
LARPs?
can't
Go on.
advise you on this whatsoever.
Wait, like you pretend to be characters from Neil Gaiman's The Sandman?
He's run 3 different Sandman LARPs.
I would like to be included in the 4th.
Yeah, they're all over 40 players.
Oh my God.
Maria Bamford was, we
Guys,
both did, were
do you mind
extras.
if I change my laundry?
Yeah, go ahead. We got to talk Sandman
wash.
All right, so maybe I will do Sandman LARPs with him. And so when I go to New York,
yeah,
I want to get a lot of sets. We're just going to let Kyle laugh on the side. And so now I'm not going until the 10th. And then I think I'm going to just stay in New York until I go to Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle.
Oh, cool.
In January. Yeah.
So we're at the Bell House on the 16th. I just picked up Go Bananas on the 13th through the 15th. So I'm going to go to Cincy for 4 days or 3 days and then go to New York. But I probably won't stick around because that will have been 4 days away from my son.
Yeah, I will be 8 days away. And I just realized that I booked Comedy on State during Andy's birthday.
Oh.
And I talked to him this morning and I said, your birthday's on a Saturday this year? And I have said,
I hope you told him that on the first date, that Saturday birthdays, you get 2 birthdays next year. All right. You don't get a Saturday birthday ever in the comic.
Well, and I said, I would love to keep this gig, but let me know. And he goes, oh my God, it's my birthday. It's not, don't worry about it. And I was like, I fly home on Sunday. And he's like, that's fine. It'll still be my birthday. I will still be whatever, 54, 55.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a year and a half younger than me. He will always be a year and a half younger than me.
Nice. Well done.
Right.
Well done, Jacqueline Sue.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, and I also did Wisconsin Public Radio. And my brother Phil called me. He said, you were so erudite. And I was like, thanks. Am I one of the good ones? Anyway.
Did you do a set or did you just talk?
Oh, more talk, more Kinnison story, more same 9 stories. And but different ones just because I was tapped. So I hope my dad doesn't, but my dad has mentioned my name and my sister was like, you mentioned Dad's name. He is never going to shut up about it. It's going to be great.
I don't know how celebrities do multiple late night shows too. Like, I understand why they would love to just go on Fallon and play ping pong. Like, please, I don't have any more stories for you. Let me just play and get the fuck out.
Right. You plug the thing. We do something wacky, which is what the Nancy Cuomo thing was. It was great.
Sure.
Psyched. Yeah. But so I'm packing merch for Milwaukee. And in Raleigh, I sold out of almost everything. I think I came home with 4 t-shirts.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm mostly just doing Meat Shield t-shirts with Maria gigs.
Yeah.
Because her fan base buys everything. And they're really cool shirts, but what I did was when I had them printed, right? So I had them printed. It was probably $1,100, $1,200 to make 100 of them. And the first $1,100, I took that money back. That was mine, right? The next $1,100 is what I call a prudent reserve so that I could order another 100, right? This is 5-6 years ago. And then every 1,000 after that prudent reserve, I've donated to a different group. So I've donated to 11 different groups, $11,000.
Amazing.
And
amazing.
so when I'm done, right now I'm at like $780. And when I hit another 1,000, I'll send that 1,000 off. And then I'm going to try to sell out of all of these shirts and then donate the prudent reserve, the $1,100, because I'm not going to order anymore, plus whatever the existing shirts are, to a last donation thing to stop fascism. And then to meet you at something.
Right.
Yeah. And then I won't have them in
so
my
cool.
garage. Yeah. It'll be great.
So you won't have them in your garage, but you have all these placeholders for them. I saw what William did for your garage. It looks gorgeous. What are you going to put in those big bins?
Well, we still have the other side of the garage, which is stacked full of just loose nonsense. And I'm getting DVDs. But I'm not going to get, I think I ordered like 300 DVDs and 300 CDs. And I'm like, I will have them for 100 years.
Yeah.
Though people insist that they want them. And I was like, yeah, order one of each. It'll be the coaster set. And you can rip the CD. You could watch the DVD if you have a PlayStation or a Wii or a DVD player. I have a DVD player.
It's good to like tell your children what a CD is, just to inform them of prior media. So it's tell it to parents as a way to teach them how you could teach your kids how you grew up with this DVD.
You know what was on the Daily Zeitgeist 100 pages was a toy. And you remember the old, I never had it when I was a kid, but it was a Fisher-Price telephone for toddlers, for babies. And it had like a rotary phone, and they have that item that you can plug your Bluetooth, you can either Bluetooth or plug your phone into it to charge, and then you can just answer it.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, it is adorable and I want it, but where and why? Where would I put it? Why would I use it? It wouldn't happen. So I don't need it, but
there's, you put it behind you on that little bookcase right behind you. This could be like your situation room where you have a red phone and you lean in and watch as your troops demolish audiences.
It could happen. It's I have a Swiss chard and collard greens if anybody wants any, by the way. They keep growing like weeds.
No one does. Why do you grow things no one likes to eat, Jackie?
Well, I eat them, but we have several volunteer plants. We now have six Swiss chard plants. It's too much.
Kyle, where are we? What's your Swiss chard?
We got 4 minutes.
Do we?
Yes.
What are you doing after Madison? So you're doing Madison Comedy on State this weekend.
Then
everyone should come.
Celebrate the holidays. And then on Christmas night, my son and I are leaving for New York. We're going to be in New York for about 4 days. And then we go to Burlington. We're going to go in a day early to Burlington. We're going to take the Amtrak and the Trailways bus. So it's like this voyage that's like through upstate New England. And that will be beautiful. And then I hope we have snow in both locations. My son desperately wants to be part of the snow community, whatever. So doing that. And then on Sunday the 2nd, I'm renting a car. I'm going to drive to JFK. I just hope it doesn't snow on the free, like we're going to have to make a 3 p.m. flight,
Oh, right. So you got to leave early. Yeah.
Got to leave hella early from Burlington, and hopefully that'll be okay. That's that.
That's great. I don't have anything after. I have only family stuff after this weekend until the 10th when I go to New York.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm hoping that I will recharge. It'll be good. I can have I can do LA sets if they're around. I've got a couple of new bits. Oh my God, oh my God, I talked to 2 of my brothers and I've got a line from Nancy Cation. I've got a line from Elliot Cation. And I've got a line from Russ Cation. And let me tell you something, about the next generation of Cation bits. Uh, it's a goal of mine.
I got some tags. So far I got tags this week, not a brand new thing, but I've also like I've tried one bit that was I thought maybe this could actually be a dating bit if I just tweaked the setup a little bit. So I'm trying it there this week and we'll see if it stays there. But it's a weird one where I don't know where to put it if it doesn't fit there.
You can put it in the middle of your Acme set tonight because two shows. Say hi to everybody. I love those guys.
I will for sure.
I think we're done.
Me too.